Hi loves, it's B. Here I am in Bali, in Canggu. These are our last few days here before heading to Singapore and then back to the United States for a few minutes. So I'm just getting all of my kimono wearing, Bali loving painting behind me outside the private pool, Bali loving goodness out of my system. In the chronology of my actual life, about a week ago, I released the first video of this second release process called How We Restart. That was a really intense vlog post. I suppose that would have been an intense thing for anyone to do. I talked about my anxiety and depression on the internet for the first time, theoretically in a musical theater context. That's a surprising thing for a human to do. There's been a lot of gymnastics that my brain has had to do to be able to be a human who wears his flowiest outfits, grabs his tiny guitar, and sings his feelings directly to you. And I want to tell you more about where that emotional calculus has come from. A few years ago, I had an interaction with a fan that's very, very hard for me to talk about, that sort of changed the course of my life. It was a Facebook message from a young woman who had been considering suicide until she heard our song, Holding On, which contains the words, "The earth keeps turning, the light keeps shifting, and I keep holding on." Woman had sent me this long email about what her journey had been and what our role as artists had been in her journey. But to be completely honest with you, as I feel I must be, I don't actually know what that message contained because I didn't actually finish reading it. I made it 2 or 3 sentences in and I deleted it. It's taken me years to try and figure out why I deleted it. It took me years just to remember that I had. It was only a year or 2 later that I was standing in a room with Heather Robb, a songwriter of the Spring Standards, who was telling us an eerily similar story about a fan who had reached out to her to talk to her about words she had written that guided them out of darkness, that I flashed on it and remembered getting that email and thought to myself, wait, that's so weird. Why did I delete that? There's some kind of ingrained protective shield I've built up as an artist that in order to not feel the pain of rejection, I have also shut myself off from being able to accept anything from fans in a serious way. I'm so terrified of having shit come in from the internet and devastating me, as it often can and has done, that I throw everything out along with it. So when I got those first 2 sentences in on me, your song saved my life, my fucked up brain went, no it didn't, that had nothing to do with me, delete. I've learned that there doesn't appear to be any other way. If you want to truly let the good stuff in, you have to open yourself up and you have to be vulnerable. And for me, that meant actually sitting there this week as these handful of emails came in. I keep saying emails like an old person. No, I literally got a Facebook message, an Instagram message, and a YouTube comment. This time, I didn't hit delete. I sat down and I thought to myself, this is a real human being. Instagram Messenger is a shitty platform that I do not respect, but this human on the other end of it is a real person who's sitting down and having a real conversation with you. Engage with them. Open yourself up. I'm so glad I did. The first message I'll read. Hi Brian. I hope this is not too invasive, but I couldn't figure out if there was a way to message you via the From B Facebook group or not. I've wanted to write to you for months since I got an invitation to write you some lyrics via blank college listserv email, but I kept chickening out. I watched your vlog today and was inspired to reach out. Long story short, someone who I thought was a writing mentor of mine ended up saying some pretty mean things to me about my writing that put me in a bad place for about a year, and it made me afraid to write. Fast forward to today, and I've been accepted to NYU's Graduate Musical Theater Writing Program. I think maybe we're somehow all on similar paths to self-discovery in this big old world. All this to say, are you still accepting new lyrics to compose to? I know it will probably take a while, but I've been a bit obsessed with your work since I heard the whole Kerrigan Lowdermilk Live album 5 years ago, so it would be a dream to work with you. Hope you're enjoying Bali. Yes. Yes, I'm accepting your lyrics. I am making things with you. I'm here. Wait, this one's on my phone. Hold please. I'm back! Dear B, this is going to be long, but I'll divide it into paragraphs. I would normally do this on Facebook, but I didn't want to seem overly familiar. Okay, all of my love always, but come on, Facebook is overly familiar. Your video today moved me to tears. I should have written this while the Mad Ones was running, but I didn't have the words then, and I do now. I was applying for doctoral programs last fall, and I was drowning in anxiety about the future. The stakes seemed sky high, and I'm only 5 foot tall. I was so excited about the show because you and Kate have been 2 of my favorite creators for years, but I didn't know how much it would change me until I saw the show. For the first time, I saw my thought process in a character. The fear of not being enough, morphing into a hope for something more in the face of unspeakable loss. During one of the craziest semesters of my life, I took the train to New York City 3 times to see the show because each time I felt my own fears transform with Sam's. To know that same fear and sorrow was embodied behind the scenes is strangely comforting to me. Some of my worst fears about my best not being enough were confirmed when the university where I'd done my master's degree declined to accept me for my doctorate. I received the news right before a seminar which all the professors and current doctoral students attended. I sat in that classroom for hours, steeping in shame and feeling like a fraud. I felt the ground go out from under me. It felt as if I'd given them my best for 2 years and it still wasn't enough. I sat there during the last performance. I can imagine that this is only a fraction of what you felt with the Mad Ones. The original set of your videos from the start to the concert got me through that rejection, 4 more rejections, 4 all-nighters, and some healing. I was accepted to other programs and I am now in blank university town, in a season of sunshine. I just want to say thank you for being vulnerable then, and for doing so again beautifully now. You have brought so much joy to my world. Ever since you put the call out for people to share their stories with you, I've been working on one of my stories. I hope you'll be able to use it in a song someday. It will be ready soon. I'm so excited to see what comes next. Keep creating. I have read these Instagram messages from you now like 3 or 4 times, and each time I thought of you, I thought of how remarkable it is that an off-Broadway show release could be so different from trying to get into a doctoral program, and yet the feelings around them can be so similar. I'm so inspired that you continue to risk yourself and to continue to find the place where that was supposed to be your creative home. And I'm so excited to see what song we write together. I don't know what you're in a doctoral program for, but I hope we're about to write a song about like the reproductive systems of monkeys or something. Okay, I'm gonna read one more thing. I think I can say the name of the person who wrote this. Her name is Amelia Bell. She was at the concert that we did in New York in, I don't know, like April. This is at the end of a blog post that I'll link to. Fast forward several hours and I'm sitting on the floor of the living room, bodies and lights filling the room with a heat that in any other situation may have felt stifling, but here felt more like a drug to me. I was surrounded by actors, singers, musicians, producers, stage managers. Essentially everyone it takes to put on a musical was in that one high-ceilinged room. A camera on a tripod was broadcasting everything that happened to YouTube for anyone who wanted to watch. After scurrying around for a few hours, helping set up cameras and corral performers and hold lyric sheets, I finally allowed myself to just sit down, enjoy the concert, and soak in the magic of the room. Brian took a seat at the piano with Emma Hunton, the purple-haired songstress from earlier, and began telling a story. He was talking about how much he loved Emma, and how much he loved his partner Anna, and that the following song was about the night he and Anna left Washington, D.C. to move to Philadelphia so Brian could follow his music writing career. As he spoke about love and friendship and following your dreams, I began to well up. The last few days had involved numerous conversations between me and my parents and my acting teachers about my future as an actor, all of which are both exciting and petrifying. But sitting in that room full of people I wanted to either be or work with, I felt less scared than I had in days, maybe weeks actually. I'm a fairly scared person. This was it. I was in exactly the place where I wanted to be, and I was surrounded by people who understood why I had chosen to forgo a college degree in favor of pursuing a dream. These people understood what it feels like to sit in a dark theater with 1,000 strangers and feel more connected with the people around you than at a Thanksgiving dinner. Every single person in that room knew that it is not a matter of wanting or being able to do something. It's that inescapable feeling that you absolutely have to do that thing, and only that thing, for the rest of your life in order to make your life feel worth living. Kimono snaps, kimono snaps. I wanted to tell every single person in that room and in my life that I loved them. because in that moment, all I could feel was love. Love for art, love for music, love for theater, and love for the people who love these things the way I do. So, Brian of a few years ago, the Brian that would have a couple glasses of wine, turned to a fellow writer and say, oh, I got this crazy email from a fan. I was the crazy one. I was the crazy one to not recognize that I can be artist and I can also be a fan. I am a fan to many, many people, including to some people who are also my fans. I treasure the relationship I have with the 24 of you, the 24 of you, the folks who feel like you're in conversation with me. You are in conversation with me. This is as real as any IRL conversation. This is real. Thank you for your words. Thank you for your creativity. Thank you for saying far better than I could have what I'm trying to cultivate in some of these rooms. I gave you a tease in that first episode of a song I had written during a day of sun, a song called Give You Life. It had the words, write down the date and the time that you said it when you were through with believing in yourself. I decided to finish that song off to end this video with the second verse. I didn't know what I wanted to say. I never know what to say in a second verse. The words to the second verse are specifically for you. Write down your own words and sing me your next verse. Tell your own story and don't spoil the ending. You know what you sound like. The rest, loves, is just noise. Follow if you hear it. Listen to your voice. Write me a second verse. Write me more lyrics. Make me more things. And finally, to the young woman who sent me a Facebook message 5, 6, 7 years ago, know that in the same way that the words, the earth keeps turning, the light keeps shifting, those words changed you, the light you sent back to me. That was a wake-up call for me. That snapped me out of it. It took a minute, but it snapped me out of it. And so this song, Give You Life, this, my friend, this song, this is for you, from B.
Mark down the date and the time that you said it, when you were through with believing in yourself. Mark it in the ground and be sure of the way back. Leave it in a riddle, draw yourself a map. Turns out, if you tear yourself apart, turns out it'll give you life, give you life. Forwards follow the sound of your own words. They give you life, give you life. Keep going, eyes on the skies till they open and give you. They give you, they give you. They give you life. Write down your own words and sing me your next verse. Tell your own story and don't spoil your ending. You know what you sound like, the rest, loves, is just noise. Follow if you hear it, listen to your voice. Turns out, if you tear yourself apart, turns out, it'll give you life, give you life. Forwards follow the sound of your own words. It gives you life, give you life. Keep going, eyes on the skies till they open and give you. They give you, they give life. Mark down the date and the time that you said it, when you were through with believing in yourself.